What if I told you that there are certain sacred things, divine secrets that God's chosen ones should never reveal? Yes, even you have things you've wisely kept to yourself. But there's more power in that silence than you may realize. In a world where oversharing has become the norm, silence is no longer seen as strength, but for the chosen ones, it must be. Silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is your defense, your protection, and your secret weapon. In this age of instant sharing and public validation, God's chosen must resist the urge to reveal what is meant for the secret place. What you do not say can protect what God is doing in you. That's why today we are diving deep into the 5 things you should never share if you want to protect your destiny, your breakthrough, and your divine calling. If you are ready to receive this revelation, type in the comments, "I am receiving," as a declaration of your faith, and let us begin. The first thing to never share is your future plans and dreams. Guard them like treasure, for they are. Your dreams are not just ideas, they are spiritual blueprints entrusted to you by God. The enemy does not know your future, he can't read your destiny, but he watches, listens, and waits for careless conversations to gather intelligence. Every word you say about your future gives him ammunition to attack what God is still building. Proverbs 29:11 warns us, "A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it until afterwards." Chosen one, be wise. Silence is strategy. Look at Mary, the mother of Jesus. When given a promise that would change the world, she didn't announce it to everyone. She held it close and incubated it in silence. Dreams are like newborns, they need protection from cold criticism, doubt, and demonic sabotage. Don't rush to announce what is still in seed form. Let your vision grow in the secret place, watered by prayer, guarded by silence. Share only with those God leads you, to those who will intercede, not interfere. By keeping quiet, you give your dreams room to grow, shielded from envy and opposition. The enemy cannot destroy what he cannot see. Strategic silence builds spiritual security. Your dreams deserve to be protected until God decides they are ready to be revealed. The second thing you should never share is your acts of kindness and giving. In a culture where every good deed is broadcast for likes and applause, God's chosen ones must walk differently. Matthew 6:3 says it plainly, "But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing." Why? Because when you reveal your giving, you exchange a heavenly reward for earthly validation. The applause of men becomes your only reward, and that, my friend, is a poor trade. When you give in secret, God sees it. And when he sees it, he multiplies it. He blesses it. He honors it. There is a quiet strength in anonymous kindness. The enemy would love to turn your giving into pride, your humility into vanity. But when you give without seeking attention, your act becomes a weapon of spiritual warfare. You sow in the Spirit and reap in righteousness. Every silent seed you plant becomes a loud harvest in heaven. Many will try to bait you into bragging. Why don't you tell people what you did? You should get credit. But the chosen one knows true giving doesn't need credit. True giving is obedience, not performance. Even Jesus warned against making your righteousness a spectacle. When you do good, let it be for God's eyes alone. The world may never clap for it, but heaven will. Never announce your kindness. Don't parade your giving. Give without needing the spotlight. And watch God shine his favor over your life. For what is hidden in humility is often exalted in due season. The third thing you should never share is your spiritual encounters and revelations unless God instructs you to. There are moments when God whispers mysteries into your spirit, visions, dreams, deep revelations, and they are not meant for public consumption. They are treasures, not trophies. In 2 Corinthians 12:4, the Apostle Paul said he was caught up to paradise and heard inexpressible things, things that no one is permitted to tell. Even Paul, a spiritual giant, knew some experiences were too sacred to share. Why? Because not everyone can handle the weight of what God shows you. Some will mock it, others will twist it. And demons, they'll use it as a blueprint to attack your destiny. There is a reason Jesus told certain people he healed to tell no one, not because he feared fame, but because obedience mattered more than attention. God's chosen ones often receive divine downloads that don't make sense to the natural mind. If Joseph had kept his dream to himself, maybe he wouldn't have been thrown into a pit by his own brothers. Be discerning. What God reveals in private may not be ready for public release. Sometimes He's showing you a future season, and speaking it too early can sabotage what's meant to unfold in His time. Sharing spiritual insights prematurely can invite jealousy, spiritual warfare, or confusion. You must guard the sacred. Keep some revelations between you and God. Let them mature in prayer. Let them be tested in time. If and when God says speak, speak boldly. But until then, hold the mystery close. Don't be quick to post your dreams, your visions, or your divine encounters. The spiritual realm is real, and so are its enemies. Your silence can protect your assignment. Let God be your revealer, not your audience. The fourth thing you should never share is your weaknesses and struggles with the wrong people. Hear this well. Not everyone who listens cares, and not everyone who cares is sent by God. Some are merely collecting your pain like weapons. They smile in your face but carry daggers in their hearts. When you reveal your wounds to the wrong soul, you give the enemy a map to your destruction. Proverbs 13:3 says, "He who guards his mouth preserves his life, but he who opens wide his lips shall have destruction." Your vulnerabilities are sacred. They are not for gossip, not for public debate, not for curious onlookers who will only use them to discredit your calling. God's chosen ones often walk through intense inner battle, spiritual warfare, anxiety, doubt, fear. But not everyone is equipped to hold that kind of weight with compassion and discretion. Judas sat at the table too, remember? He saw everything Jesus did and still betrayed him. When you share your struggle with someone who lacks spiritual maturity, they may respond with judgment instead of grace. Or worse, they might broadcast what was meant to be healed in silence. Even well-meaning people can mishandle the sacred parts of your journey if they haven't been assigned to walk with you. This doesn't mean you should suffer alone. God does raise up trusted confidants, spiritual mentors, intercessors, people who will pray, not pray. But you must ask for discernment. The enemy is always looking for a door, and unguarded speech is often the easiest way in. Protect your soul by being selective with your confessions. Speak to God first. Let Him lead you to the right ears, the right hearts, the right spirits. Until then, take your weakness to the throne, not the timeline. The fifth thing you should never share is your next move before it's time. God may have given you a vision, a dream, a clear instruction, but just because it's been shown to you doesn't mean it's meant to be shown to others yet. Premature exposure invites unnecessary warfare. The enemy cannot attack what he cannot see, and some moves are meant to be made in silence. Joseph made the mistake of announcing his dream too soon. He told his brothers he would one day rule, and instead of celebrating, they sold him into slavery. His destiny was still fulfilled, but the road became much harder because he revealed a divine plan to people with human jealousy. Sometimes, the people around you aren't ready for what God is doing through you. Not everyone can handle the weight of your calling. Not everyone will support your next step. Some will misunderstand it, others will envy it, and a few may try to sabotage it. Proverbs 21:23 says, "Whoever keeps his mouth and his tongue keeps himself out of trouble." Your silence is not weakness, it's wisdom. God often hides your breakthrough in stillness, so it can be protected from spiritual attack. If you speak too soon, you may open the door to delays that were never part of the original plan. Remember, Jesus didn't reveal his full identity until the appointed time. There's a divine rhythm to revelation. Trust it. In conclusion, chosen ones, silence is a powerful tool in your spiritual journey. By guarding your dreams, family matters, victories, finances, and spiritual encounters, you protect what God has entrusted to you. Don't fall into the trap of oversharing or seeking validation from the world. Trust in God's perfect timing, and He will exalt you in due season. Let your faith, obedience, and patience speak louder than any words. Remain humble, remain silent, and watch as God moves in your life in ways that leave your enemies speechless. Stay faithful, and let Him guide you to victory.